If you're watching this, you're watching the replay. I'm going to go ahead and pin the comment here. This is totally my catfish filter. You guys, this is not me. Here, hold on. Let's see if we can take it off. There you go. This is such a catfish filter for me. Welcome, Only Mine 10. We're waiting for Nicoya to join us. See if we get a few people showing up. I was just making a joke how this is totally my catfish filter. Like, look. Filter? No filter. Oh, they're so deceiving. Right? Hi, Koya. Welcome. Yay, you made it. Oh, wait. Go ahead and request whenever you're ready. We're going to have Nicoya from Koya's Crystals and Many Moons Intuitive today. Yay. Got it. All right. Come on, IG. Yay. Hello.
Hello.
I was joking. This is my catfish filter.
Yeah, I need to find a filter. Let me see what this one is.
This is the real me. No makeup.
Okay. How are you?
Shay, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm trying to figure out how to get my screen right, but I'm ready.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me. I'm super excited because I wanted to interview and talk to more people in the kind of soul entrepreneurship and metaphysical world. And I've had readings by you before. And I know you do tarot and intuitive readings. And I was like, oh, I wonder if she'll chat with me on my little back.
Yes, of course.
So thank you so much for coming. So I just really would love to talk about what you do.
Okay, so I am an intuitive reader, which means I use cards to help guide me with the reading, but I can do readings without the cards as well, just by using my intuition. And I also read the cards by intuition as well. So I never really did a deep dive study into what each tarot card means. I literally just started. I looked up some things here and there. I know the base of what each card means, but like I really just look at the symbolism, and when I see the card, I get a feel of what it means for the client. And it's accurate.
It's accurate. So you go with it. You're like, it's accurate, so I'm going with it.
Mm-hmm.
And what made you wanna start doing tarot reading and using your intuitive?
You look so pretty. I'm sorry, you just look so pretty.
It's not real. Look, hold on.
The filter only gives us a small percentage of extra oomph. I just had to say that. You look so pretty. Okay. How I started. So, when I was a little girl, I would always see things that other people didn't see, especially at nighttime when it would be time for me to go to sleep. I really felt like I wasn't actually sleeping. I would tell my grandfather, like, I watched the sun come up this morning, and he'd be like, no, you didn't. And I'd be like, no, I was awake. Like, I saw it. I heard the birds chirping. It's always been like that. But I feel like I have a connection with the astral realm, which is the realm where we go to dream, and we receive messages from spirit and our guides there. And it's like an in-between place between the spirit world and our world, physical world. And there was a store called the World of Science, and they had these crystals. And I was in 3rd grade when I started collecting crystals. So I had an affinity for them then. I could feel their energy then. And as far as tarot goes, from being little, having this connection with the astral realm, knowing that there was just something else that other people weren't getting, I connected there. And being programmed to think that tarot was negative, especially growing up in the church, I strayed away from it. But then one day I went into a metaphysical shop to get crystals, and there was a lady that had this deck called the Wizard's Tarot. And she was like, it was me and my aunt and a friend of hers, and she said, do you want me to pull some cards for you guys? I had never had a tarot reading or anything. Like I said, I strayed away from it. And when she pulled the cards and gave us our little mini reading, it was so accurate that I was just like blown away. And the design and the symbolism of this Wizard's Tarot really resonated with my energy. So it took me maybe like 3 months, but then I really felt strongly to get this deck and start working with the cards. And so that's how it started.
That's awesome. So that was your first deck, was the Wizard's Tarot?
Yes, went for crystals, ended up getting this mini reading, and it brought me to the tarot world.
That's how it works, right? You go for one thing and then you're suckered into something else. You're like, oh, now I've got
all the time.
I love that though. That's so cool. And then from then, did you just start like practicing on your own, or did you kind of work towards, offering your services?
No, for at least 4 years, I just read for myself. And then, practice that way, getting to know the cards, getting to know the deck, comparing things from what I read in the little guidebook to how things panned out when I did the readings for myself. And then maybe the third year, I started doing readings for friends and family. And then I branched out and made my Many Moons Intuitive page and just started doing public readings from there.
I love that. So it just grew out of a couple of years, and then family and friends, and now you have your own small business where you do this, and you sell crystals also, just like we do here. You have Koya's crystals, who you've joined us as today. So you've combined all of that stuff that you love.
Right.
And now you're running your own business. That is amazing. How is that feeling? Like you're doing all these things.
Thank you. It feels really good. It feels good. There's a little bit of a struggle not to compare myself, to other people. I've been doing the Many Moons Intuitive business for, I think it's like 5 years now. And it was a year in October that I started Koya's crystals. But my mind, I just have all these things that I want to do and incorporate, and workshops and this and that. But every day I just take a breather and say, all in due time, work with what I have right now, slowly incorporate things. So this interview is actually really helpful in like combining the two things and presenting it to everyone.
Yeah, I thought you were like the perfect person for this, because you have the shop, but you're also intuitive tarot reader. And I was like, and I know you use crystals in your readings, because I've had a reading with you. I know I gave you some questions, so I'm trying to stick to my questions and be a good interviewer.
It's fine.
A couple of them. We got to those ones too. Yeah, and speaking of crystals, how do you use them when you work with clients?
So with the tarot, I have a space upstairs that I use, and my personal collection of crystals is there. So they're just spread out in front of me. And so when I start before I start the reading, I ground myself. I do some deep breathing. I connect with my guides, my ancestors, my angels. I call all their energy in. I let them know who I'm working with. And then I intuitively choose the crystals that I'm going to work with. So it's like a combination of what crystals am I going to utilize for myself and my energy, like tourmaline for grounding and protection, blue celestite for bringing in angelic energy. Depends on the person. If I maybe need some more powerful angelic energy, I'll go with the celestite. And then for them, it's super intuitive. Like I remember with your reading, it was a stalactite that I was called to. I had a stalactite that I'd never worked with. It was there. I bought it intuitively, and I'd never worked with it. I had it for almost like a year. And you said like, oh yeah, stalactites is something that I've been attracted to lately. So it was something about the stalactite energy that there was a message there for you. So yeah, it's all intuitive. It depends on the energy. It depends on how I'm feeling. It depends on the energy of the client, which crystals I choose. But that's how I do it.
I loved it. Yeah, it was weird because when I did the reading with you for like weeks, I've been on this stalactite kick, and I was like, I need to get more stalactite in my cup. I need more stalactite. And then you're like, I'm drawn to use this stalactite, and I'm like, those stalactites are everywhere.
It's really cool. I love it. I love when that happens.
It's so cool. It's that synchronicity, right? Like there's something there. And now,
Mhm.
hindsight, though, I'm thinking I probably should have looked up the meaning of the stalactite, and I'm just now realizing I never did. Like,
Well, something that I am putting together is to do crystal readings. So that would be, whatever crystal I've intuitively chosen for you. Part of the reading is giving you the message of, the information about this particular crystal so you can see how it resonates with whatever's going on in your life. So, yeah, hopefully sooner than later I'll be able to incorporate that.
ooh, let me know because I'll share it because I think a lot of the people here too at Bella Luna would be really interested in that service. So they can have the intuitive reading and you can tell them a little bit about the crystal, which I would love
Perfect.
too. I might do another one too when you do that. That'd be really fun.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm trying to get it together. I'm trying to get all the things incorporated so that they mesh well and everything flows.
I'm excited for you. Sorry, my son just snuck in. He's like, he keeps
Hi.
now the dog's coming in with a squeak toy.
Hello, everyone.
Say hi. They're supposed to be downstairs. They snuck up though.
That's
I
okay.
love that. And that I think will fit in really perfectly with everything you offer. Bring it all together.
Hmm.
Hey, Nico, can you close the door if you're going to be right here? His mama's doing a live show. I've been live bombed like 4 times this last week.
I love it. It's good. It's real life.
And do you have like favorite crystals that you like to work with or crystals that you feel like more often than not you're going to them?
Okay, so I cannot tell you the exact book meaning of sodalite, but sodalite is definitely a go-to for my readings. There's something about it that helps me go deeper. And also blue kyanite. Blue kyanite is a very cerebral I have a piece of blue kyanite here. It's a very cerebral, energetic stone. So sodalite, blue kyanite are my two favorites, my go-tos, and quartz, plain old quartz. If I am in a situation where I don't really have time to go super deep and tap in, and quartz is something I can always grab. It's the amplifier, it's the healer. I always am asking my guides and God to make sure that in these readings that healing is taking place wherever it's supposed to take place. So always quartz. I
I
use
love
a quartz crystal ball in all my readings.
I love that. And I know you and I have talked about too the how you feel the crystal's going to work for you is not always 100% going to match
Right.
the crystal description that you might
Yeah.
find. Google it or you read it in a
Yeah.
book. And that's why it's really important, I know, to work with it. So like you found your two crystals that you're like, these are my people. I
And it
like,
might change. It might change depending on,
yeah,
how I'm elevating and what's going on. But yeah, those have been my go-tos. Very powerful pieces. I feel like I can more easily tap in utilizing those pieces.
I love that. And then you have ones too that maybe if there's any blocks or something going on, you can like go to those too.
Right. Yeah, those two are the ones that I think, when you're saying if there's any blocks, those two cut right through. Like there's no messing around. And sometimes, especially with people who it's their first time getting readings, there is a little bit of a block, and it's not anything that they're doing on purpose. It's just that anticipation of what's going to happen. What is this person going to tell me? And, that type of thing. So those two really open up both myself and the client's crown chakra energy to let things flow.
Ooh, I love it. And I see we have a couple questions. I'm going to look real quick. I think we had one about losing a crystal, losing a rose quartz. You keep losing your rose quartz. For me, that's usually when it's done. It's done with you. It's done with you. What do you think? How would you answer that one?
Agree. I agree. I say when somebody loses a crystal, like you said, it's done its work. It's all done working with you. It's time to move on to something else. It could be a bigger piece. It could be a different piece, or it could be that, you know, whatever heart chakra or love work, it's being mindful of what has this piece taught me so far.
Taking a moment to be like, it's gone, and what do I need to learn, or what have I learned from it? Mm-hmm. Maybe I need a more giant one, but maybe I actually have like.
Could be time to upgrade.
A giant one.
Ooh, yeah.
Those just came in. They're just sitting there. And then let's see. I've been really drawn to citrine lately. That's like solar plexus kind of work. Yeah.
Being drawn to citrine could have something to do with your abundance mindset. It could be that your mindset is changing from a lack mindset to an abundance mindset. There could be something that you're planning on doing. So citrine wants to come into your life to help you manifest something that you have your gears turning for.
Ooh, I love that. You took it even way deeper than I would go. You're like, it's trying to tell you to manifest. That's an even better interpretation than I had. I'm like, because it's your solar plexus.
Yeah, solar plexus has to do with all that. Solar plexus is that self-confidence, self-empowerment, leveling up.
I love it. And it's time. It must be time for you, 𝕊𝕪𝕒𝕥, to level up if that's what's being called into yours. You're reopening your shoe boutique. Oh my God. That makes such sense.
Yay! Get that citrine. I saw the citrine sphere that you have. It's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
I know. He's just hanging out in here. He's actually
love
back there. He's amazing. And your latch business too. This is that would make sense to me because citrine is also the merchant stone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's calling you towards that. Put some citrine in your new shop. It's so exciting. Oh, it's ℂ𝕑 Heartbeat says, hi, hello.
Hello, Allie.
So exciting. Anyone have questions for us? I think I just have kind of one more question for Nicoya. But if you have questions, go ahead, drop them. You've been buying a lot of the citrine. You got that cool rutile piece. That was insane.
All right. Citrine with rutile in it?
Yeah, I had a couple pieces that came with the rutile.
Amazing.
They didn't even, like, the supplier didn't even know they were in there. I'm like looking at it. I'm like,
I love when that happens. Love when that happens.
Like, sweet, these are packed with rutile. I did keep like 2.
Of course. I was just thinking, I definitely, when that happens, I end up keeping at least one of those special pieces.
Oh yeah, because you get first pick. That's the benefit of owning the shop.
Mm-hmm.
People don't talk about that though. If you're a crystal addict, you do get first dibs.
Oh gosh, crystal addiction.
It's dangerous.
And that's a whole nother show.
I think that's why they tell like drug dealers not to do their own drugs or something.
Whenever I'm thinking about keeping a few of my new inventory, I think of that. I'm like, don't use your own supply. Don't get into your own thing.
I try to, but then I make a lot of mistakes, and that's why there's a 30-pound Baja amethyst on my floor right now. So
what?
It's insanity. Someone had it, and I couldn't say no to it, and it's sitting on my floor right now, and it's a 30-pound Baja amethyst that I can't even lift up. That's why it's on the floor.
That's okay. It's going to do what it needs to do for you. Investment piece. It's an investment.
It is. It's rare. So I took it as an investment piece, and we'll see if it wants to stay or if it wants to go. We'll see how it feels in a couple weeks.
I want to see it whenever you get a chance. If you have to DM me, I want to see what it looks like.
And then we have, ℂ𝕑 Heartbeat says, is Labradorite good for sleep? Do you want to answer that one?
I use Labradorite for protection in my sleep. There have been a few times where I've had sleep paralysis situations. like psychic attacks in my sleep. And as soon as I started putting my little Labradorite palm stone under my pillowcase, set the intention with it that, you know, it's for protection, it's for, you know, set your intention. I haven't had any issues, so I would say it's good for sleep. I don't know about like, well, I'm not going to say that Labradorite helps you get to sleep, but if you are somebody that has anxieties or night terrors or something like that, in that way it helps you sleep, because it helps you not to have the anxiety or the night terrors anymore.
Ooh, absolutely. I love that. I sleep with Labradorite as well. I have it on my nightstand. And I haven't had any negative dreams in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys want to hear something creepy about sleep paralysis?
Here she goes. What is it?
So you guys, some of you may know that I was a psychology professor for years. So this is actually something I read in a textbook that I would teach to students. So it's legit. It's hella creepy. So did you know the most common sleep paralysis vision is that you can't move and it looks like there's a creepy person over your body? That is the number one.
Say this right now.
Sorry, you're gonna go to bed. Sorry, I forgot you're on the East Coast.
I'm gonna have to recharge my Labradorite tonight. I'm gonna have a little pep talk with the lab tonight. Like, I know Bella mentioned this, so I need you to really be on it tonight.
It was the creepiest thing. I was reading and I was like,
it's awful.
I was like,
I actually had a person reach out to me for a documentary about sleep paralysis. It was like an HBO documentary series, and I never got back to them. I wanted to do it, but I don't know. I guess it just like wasn't meant to be. But yeah, it's sleep paralysis is nothing light.
no.
So I mean, yeah, like, I suggest the lab if you're dealing with that.
And if it's depending too on what's causing the sleep, like if I'm having a bunch of psychic attack or I feel like it's energetically that's keeping me up, I'll wear black tourmaline and smoky quartz bracelets when I sleep.
Yes. I do definitely utilize my bracelets when I sleep too. Obviously the smaller bead ones are more comfortable. But yeah, in the pillowcase under my bed, I have selenite right under where I sleep. I have a selenite plate. I have a selenite palm stone that I put in my pillowcase. I use it all.
And if somebody tries to get you, you got a pillowcase full of rocks. We're ready to go. They're multi-purposeful.
Yep. Knock them out real quick.
So we got a Moldavite question.
Oh, Lord.
Girl Bonnie wants to know, what are your thoughts on Moldavite?
Okay, so my personal thoughts on Moldavite, the fire truck.
I know. It's right here.
So cute. Moldavite, so I don't know. It's different for everyone. It really is. If you are, I guess I'll say a water sign. I'm a water sign, so things that are highly things that are high with psychic energy, like Moldavite. Moldavite is a literal space stone. It's a piece of like space glass. So that's really up there. It's universal. And if you're not somebody that's very grounded in your energy, it can throw you for a loop. I started using Moldavite around my Saturn return, which is, if I can just try to break it down quickly, it's the point in your life where you are leveling up into like adulthood and you're coming into yourself. You're figuring out it's a crossroads phase. So you're figuring out, which road am I gonna take? Really intense time in our life, making a lot of huge choices for yourself in your life. So I started using Moldavite then. I didn't really know what Moldavite was. I just was attracted to it. Again, it was an intuitive thing. And when I got it, I felt like it really, as a metaphor, was like putting the high beams on into which way to go. And it really was showing me in depth, very clearly, how, why, when I should make all these moves, especially when it comes to my spirituality. And some people can't handle that. Some people don't like to see the truth of certain situations. For example, a lot of times when you're at your Saturn return, it's a decision on, are you going to stay with your romantic partner or move on? So when it comes to love, it's really not easy to say, I have to break away from this person for my best and highest good, even though I love this person, it's toxic or whatever. So Moldavite can be very challenging for some people because it really is a truth teller. So if you're using Moldavite, you have to be able to be real with yourself and also utilize other grounding tools.
With it, that makes sense too. Absolutely, having to ground with it, because I know I have been having issues grounding, and I had Moldavite in the shop, and I was doing a funny little video about it, just a funny reel about Moldavite, and I was like, doesn't really affect me that much. Like, it gives me a little buzzy, like you had too much coffee, but that's really about it. And that night, like, I swear the Moldavite heard me say that. It heard me call it out, and I had the weirdest ass dream like I've
It was
had.
like, oh, really?
It's like, oh,
it gives you a little buzz. Let me show you something. Like Jim Carrey.
I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, that was so weird. What was going on? But I feel like part of it was there was a message behind that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was like, oh, but I haven't picked it up since. But now hearing you kind of explain it more, what it did for you during your Saturn return, now I'm kind of tempted to pick it back up again.
Yeah, Moldavite can be super helpful.
I love that. I don't believe all the crazy stuff on like TikTok or people.
Yeah, I think that people can embellish for views and likes.
I agree. I think that definitely happens. And I think that's where you see like the carnelian thing that went on TikTok forever, where they had like teenage boys saying that they slipped carnelians into like other teenage girls' like pockets or purses or something.
That's so stupid. I didn't see any of that, but I believe that foolery was going on.
I was like, it doesn't exactly work that way, but you know, entertainment.
Right.
And then Selling at Heartbeat says, I started getting more vivid dreams after placing a lab Buddha carving on my night table.
Yeah, sense. Labradorite will definitely up your dreams. If you're somebody who tends to dream already, it can make your dreams more vivid. So that sounds accurate. If you're somebody that doesn't dream, it can bring in visions and bring in dreams if you don't normally dream.
Do you have any tips? I forgot to send you the question beforehand, so please feel free to skip it if you want to. But do you have any tips, like if someone wants to do a little more dream work, how they could maybe like be mindful when they go to sleep to remember their dreams, or any crystals you think would be good for remembering?
Remembering my dreams is something that I've struggled with. It is something that I'm still working on as far as dream work. I haven't found, to be completely honest, I haven't found anything that helps me remember my dreams. The closest thing was to make this specific satchel. So it was, you can get any type of little mini bag. It can be a little organza bag. It can be a cloth bag, like a special one that you pick out or whatever. I'm trying to see if I have something. When I say organza bag, this is the type of bag that I'm talking about. These little bags here. But I took lavender, amethyst, and mugwort. And I set the intentions with each of those things on what I wanted it to do for me as far as my dream work. And I put it in my pillowcase, and it was a very strong result. Like, my dreams were so vivid that I couldn't help but remember them.
Oh, wow.
So that's a suggestion if you're trying to remember your dreams that I have, to set the intention of, you know, help me remember my dreams with each of those things. I had fresh mugwort because it grows like right in my yard. But you can use dried mugwort, amethyst tumbles, whatever kind of little amethyst chips work too. And the lavender was just dried lavender flowers. But you could probably use an essential oil, like anoint the mugwort and anoint the amethyst with lavender oil too.
Ooh, I love that. That must smell really good too.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Oh, we have another question. Is labradorite the only crystal that enhances your dream? How about preonite or blue apatite? I know of a couple others. Do any of those resonate with you, or what you think?
I know that preonite does. I haven't used it intentionally to help me with my dreams. But in reading about it, it says that it's one of the traits. I'm not sure about blue apatite. I think blue apatite was talking about like your psychic and intuitive abilities being amped up with it. So I guess that would go kind of hand in hand with dream interpretations or receiving messages in dreams.
Ooh, I love that. But I also think too, and this is another funny story because I always have stories. I have a giant strawberry Tansbury quartz.
Ooh, I love strawberry quartz so much. It's one of my faves. The energy is so amazing. Gentle, but also really powerful. Totally hits the heart chakra.
And I put it on my husband's side of the bed.
Sneaky, sneaky.
And he had like, ever since I did that, insane dreams, like insanely vivid dreams about like past trauma that he needed to work through. And he's
for
like,
him or for you?
For him. Like
wow, that's crazy.
Trauma that was hanging out.
That's a great testimony on using that energy.
And for me though, it could be sitting next to me and it's just like, I like it, but it doesn't have that same
effect. Yeah.
It is sitting next to a Labradorite, so it would have been the combo too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Combining crystals. That's another show.
Other episode. We're almost out of time though. I just want to look real quickly here. For instance, if you don't remember your dreams, they're just regular dreams, but if they're extremely vivid, you definitely remember them, and then those are messages. And for me, for you, there's a complete difference. Oh, interesting. I think everyone's going to have their own experience, but for you, then that's probably your sign, right? That you know, these are the messages. These are just like the regular dreams. My brain.
Yeah, I agree. If there's a dream, because I do dream interpretation too. If there's a dream that I have that I can't interpret or it just seems totally out of, like one of those super weird, nonsensical dreams, I chalk it up to, okay, this was like something that I ate or whatever. I would consider those regular dreams.
Oh, you thought that the blue apatite was about dreams. So labradorite is the best crystal for dreams to leave on your nightstand. I would say that's probably one of the best is labradorite. I would agree with that.
I agree.
And Moldavite if you want to do some personal work, personal growth work. But
right.
I don't know how well you'll be sleeping if you're doing that like strong personal growth work. Maybe not.
If you wanted to go that route, definitely have some type of grounding stone there as well.
Some smoky quartz or some tourmaline along with it. I love that. Well, we are gonna wrap up. I want to thank Nicoya for coming today, letting me ask you 20 questions and sharing your knowledge. You can find Nicoya at Many Moons Intuitive and at Nicoya Crystals. She does her crystal sales. What days are you doing? Saturday and Sunday, right?
Saturdays and Sundays is when I do my live sales. The times vary, but it's between 6 to late night. Sometimes I do them at 8, sometimes I do them at 9, but I will always post in my stories or on my page what the time is.
Perfect. And then at Many Moons Intuitive, they can always DM there for any tarot. Dream interpretation. Now that I didn't realize you did dream interpretation. I had a weird one a few weeks ago. I'm like, if I can remember what it was, I'm gonna book with you.
It always goes back to remembering the details. Like, what happened? It's fleeting. It's like you wake up, it's right there, and you're like, oh my God, that dream was crazy. And then it just slowly disintegrates, and you're trying to grasp what the details were.
That's why I'm trying to write them down. So when I have another weird one, I'm going to be booking with you.
I use my voice memos because then I don't have to turn on a light. I don't have to find my pen in my notebook. I just get my phone go to my voice memos and just start saying what the dream was so I don't lose it.
Ooh, I love that. That's way easier than me trying to write it out.
Yeah. And then in the morning or whenever I can go back. And if I'm listening to what I said, then sometimes certain details come back and then I can write them out.
Ooh, that's genius. I never thought to use the voice notes. You should do another.
Some people can't because they don't want to wake up their partner or whatever.
Nah, my husband would be fine. He can sleep through anything. Like loud noises outside, he's out. I'm like, a rat like sneezes, and I'm like, oh. Let's see. You should do another show. Oh, it'd be fun. Maybe we'll have to.
I would love to do like a part 2 and go more in depth.
I would love to as well. So whenever you're free, DM me. We'll schedule something.
Okay.
And your first time, yay! So if you're not following Nicoya at Koya's Crystals and at Many Moons Intuitive, by the way, she's where I got my fluorite pyrite. It's fluorite with pyrite in it.
It's so beautiful.
Are you sold out or do you have some left?
No, I have some. Let me see. I have an example. I don't know how it's going to show up on the screen, but
it's insane.
This is one of the towers. You can see the pyrite here, and then all the little glitteries inside is the pyrite. And it changes in different lighting. It looks totally different in sun. It looks totally different in the dark. Like, it's amazing. I love it. It's really good for shadow work.
I have 2 of them. I can recommend them.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to let you go. Thank you again so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much. And thanks for everybody that came in and listened. I appreciate you guys. Bye-bye, Bella. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.